We'll begin the session. So, good morning, all of you. I welcome you all for the iWorkstation webinar series. And today's session is related to PMP, CAPM, and how these certifications can help you if you are already a BIM modeler or a BIM engineer in your industry. Okay, so I'll quickly share my screen and we'll move directly to the topic where I'll be showing you about what is this CAPM, what is this PMP, and what kind of certifications there, how you have to study, how I have studied in my career actually. So I am also a CAPM certified associate in 2017. Okay, so I'll show you these few steps and how you can, when you want to actually give the exam, and what things you have to consider, how you have to crack it, what guidelines or tips and tricks you can do it, which I have also used it and it really helped me a lot in those times. So let's begin. So I'll quickly share my screen. All of you can let me know if it's visible. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So before beginning about the session, which is CAPM and PMP, so this is a website, pmi.org. So PMI website is Project Management Institute. So this institute is not just in India, it's globally. In almost all the countries you will find this institute, and these institutes have chapter. Now chapter means basically branches. Okay, let's say in India they have chapters in Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Kolkata, and Ahmedabad, and more other cities as well. In I guess in Hyderabad as well. So in Kerala as well. So you can be a part of any of the chapter wherever you reside. Let's say you stay in Pune, so you can be a part of the Pune chapter. You can be a part of Delhi chapter as well. Okay. So these PMI, they gives out certifications. There are so many certifications with this PMI institute. Here there is Project Management Professional, which is a very famous and very popular certification among professionals. Okay, so let's say you are from a civil engineering background or architecture or engineering or any background you are, like even some of the people might be from the IT background, they can also give this certification. So this certification is not specifically for a civil engineer or architect. Any engineer, any IT professional, even a business person who has done MBA or post graduation in business management, these people can also be a part of. They can give these certifications. Okay, so here there is PMP, CAPM, then they have risk management, agile, and so many other different types of certification. Now PMI is not the only institute which qualifies a person that he is a professional. There are other institutes also like Scrum, Prince. These are the other exams which people can take. But in today I am going to just talk about the PMI. Okay. So if you click over here, you can get to know what are these certifications. So I have already opened one part of it for you. So I will talk more about CAPM. So CAPM is called Certified Associate in Project Management. Okay, let's say some of you would have heard of Project Management Masters, or maybe you would have heard about NICMAR, National Institute of Construction Management and Research, which offers project management courses. Similar like that, there are so many other institutes as well which offer project management courses. And after completing these project management courses, you can they actually initiate and they actually motivate people to give these type of certifications. So as you can see over here, this is the #1 certification in the most demanding professional certification. You can even verify this from the website Entrepreneur. So I have opened directly for you. If you click on the website, you can see that CAPM is the #1 professional certification anyone is demanding in the industry right now. So you might be thinking, sir, there is a Revit certificate exam also, there is a Revit architecture, Revit structure. Is it not demanding? Is it not required in the industry? I would say there are so many exams which you can take up, but something which is really professional and which needs a lot of dedicated hours and which is regularly updated, that is always demanding. Okay, so Revit certifications are demanding too, but depending on your level of education or level of your expertise, you can go for it. So CAPM is the number one. Number two is the PMP. So I'll talk about my certificate first. Let me show you my certificate. So this is how a certificate looks like. So you can see over here this post which I have posted on LinkedIn. It's almost 7 years old, right? So I posted about that I got a certificate in CAPM that time. You can see the dates over here as I zoom in. This is 27th of July 2017, and it was valid till 26th of July 2022. Right now this certificate already expired. Okay, so whenever you give any certification from the PMI, it is valid for 5 years. You can count the date as well from here. So only for 5 years you are a certified professional. After that you have to renew it, or you can choose a higher level of exam. Like this is CAPM, so I can renew the same exam, or I can give a PMP exam. Now what is the difference between these two certification and which certification you should choose? Okay, so let's say you are already a professional working in the industry and you have a minimum of 3 years of experience in the field. Okay, then you can opt for PMP exam, project management professional exam, which is this one. Okay, you can apply here on their website, and yeah, you can practice for it. It might take you, some people it takes 3 months to 6 months, some people it takes even 1 year to practice, you know. So PMP is a very tough exam. It's not easy, not anyone can do it, and the fee is quite high too. In my time it was maybe around I don't remember exactly, but maybe it was around $300 to $450 for an exam. Yeah, I think somewhere over here it is mentioned. Give me a moment. Yeah, somewhere here it is mentioned. They usually change the exam fee and the timings and the curriculum as well. When I was studying in 2016-17, I was just in the I had just actually finished my education in 2017. So I have started preparing in 2016 itself. So I was preparing for the 5th edition. Right now they are using 7th edition. So by a thumb rule, they usually upgrade every 4 years. हर 4 साल में इनका सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जाम अपडेट होता है. Okay, so whatever the curriculum they have prepared, they need to upgrade it. So I was doing the 5th edition. Maybe somewhere over here would be written. Yeah, defined in the PMBOK guide effective. That is. So when you prepare for this exam, you have to prepare in a certain way, and not anyone can prepare. So you have to choose which exam you have to prepare, whether you have to prepare for PMP or whether you should go for CAPM. That's totally up to you. So I will help you solve your problem, like how you can prepare. So as I mentioned, 3 years if you already have experience working in the industry, whether in the BIM, whether in the project management, whether working on the site, you can go for PMP. Imagine you don't have any experience, you are a fresh graduate, okay, who recently completed his education and maybe looking for a job. So at this particular moment, you cannot apply for any of the certification. You cannot apply for PMP, you cannot apply for CMP, because there is a eligibility criteria which is very mandatory, and if you fail to be in that eligibility criteria, you cannot apply for it. So I was already studying in the college that time in 2017, if I talk about. So how I apply? So I applied for the CAPM certification. So there are basically 2 criteria. Either you need to have a 1.5 year of experience in the industry, or you need to be a student in the university. So I was already a student that time in the university in 2017, around January, February time. That was the time I scheduled my exam, just before finishing my final exams. So I have already scheduled for July, and I went to Mumbai, I gave it, and for an instance I cleared the exam in first attempt itself. So let me tell you something, misconceptions which I had during this year. In 2017, in the entire world there were only around 7,500 to around 8,000 professionals who have given this exam. Okay, so now imagine in the entire world only 8,000, let's assume 10,000 people have cleared this exam. And in India, I have tried to contact and reach out to so many people, but I got no answer from anyone who has done the CAPM exam. And many of them actually criticized to do this exam because it's a pretty new concept and no one knows whether you will be able to crack it or not, because there is no benchmark, right? So I tried to do many things by myself, and I have taken a guidance and learning from an institute as well, which I'll tell you later. Uh, that institute teacher has helped me a lot and motivated me a lot to help clear this exam. So first of all, I prepare not for the CAPM exam, I prepare for the PMP exam. Now you would be saying, if I enroll for a CAPM exam, why did you prepare for a PMP exam, right? I think every one of you with me? Yeah, cool. So why did I prepare for PMP exam when I already enrolled for CAPM? So the thing here is, there was no institute in India at that moment who is actually teaching how to crack CAPM, because no one has actually cracked it and there was no teacher. So it was, I was actually not one very unlucky, I was very lucky that instead of preparing for a CAPM, I got a chance to prepare for PMP. PMP is the most toughest exam. So when you prepare for PMP, you can easily crack the CAPM, and that's what exactly happened with me, right? So for almost 3 to 4 months, I prepared rigorously with all the study material which I have received from my teacher and from the institute, and cracked the exam. So it was around 3 hours of exam, so I cracked it in almost 1 hour 20 minutes. I already finished the paper, and hardly 15 minutes I spent for checking it. And around, out of 150, you never know how many questions were right, because based on how you give the exam, the difficulty level, it's like a random. So if you are giving all the correct answers, they will make it a little bit more difficult for you. So it adjusts its way of taking the exam online, and it gives you a difficult question or easy questions depending on how you are answering it. So most of the exams are multiple choice questions, which is totally related to the book which you study. So for clearing this exam, only thing which is required is you need to thoroughly know the book. So which book it is? So here is the book. This is the book which is called as Project Management Body of Knowledge. I'll show you PMBOK here, which is the current 7th edition here. So this is Amazon, you can find it on Amazon or on their website as well. This is the 7th edition. So you have to be thoroughly understand all the concepts which is there in this book. Okay, so I'll give you an example of a little bit introduction about what is CAPM and how you can prepare for it. So this is a CAPM handbook which later I can share with all of you to understand more deeply about the certification, how they mark each and every chapters in the CAPM, how you have to apply for it, what is the process, everything is mentioned in this guide. Okay, so you can go through it, use this guide as a handbook for you to prepare. It will take some time, and all the audit process, what is the multiple choice question eligibility, certification cycle, as I mentioned, it's totally 5 years, and who is eligible, option 1 and option 2, that's what I mentioned right now. Either you need to have a education, you are a student, or either you need to have at least 1.5 year of experience. 1500 years basically converts to at least 1.5 year of experience. So there may be an audit process, there may not be audit process. In my case, there was no audit. Okay, so sometimes if application is selected for audit, they will ask you more detail, like your experience certificate, or whether your college certificate, that you are really enrolled in a college or not. Maybe they will ask you a bona fide certificate from your college. So all these things will be required, and once everything is approved, you can give the exam. You can choose any exam. You can choose a computer based exam, or you can choose a physical exam also, depending on your location where you are staying. and then you can go forward it. So as I said, as I told you, that I was preparing for PMP, which is a pretty difficult. The reason is PMP is also based on the same book which I showed you over here on the Amazon. This same book you have to refer for PMP, and the same book you have to refer for CAPM. But only the problem here is in PMP the questions are more related to experience rather than just the bookish knowledge. So how you understand what is based on the experience? Let's say you are a project manager and you have a problem or a challenge on your site. So you have four possible ways of solving that challenge. All the four possible answers or the four possible ways are correct, but which one is more correct? That is a very tricky thing. Okay, so only a person who have been on the real side or who have been a professional with that kind of experience will be able to answer these questions, which in CAPM you will not get this type of questions. Okay, so here I will show you which kind of questions you can receive in the CAPM. So these are some of the examples. Which of the following is not a project management knowledge area? So here there is an option: communication management, procurement management, change control management, project integration management. So if I ask you which is not the project management knowledge area, I will choose this one, change control management. This is not a knowledge area. So if you know which are the knowledge areas in the project management, you can easily answer it. Okay. A project is a dash effort undertaken to create a dash product or service. So this is actually a statement, and this statement is taken from a book directly. So imagine you have to thoroughly go through the entire book like you used to learn in your school or the colleges, and you have to know each and everything, and you have to remember a lot of things and which process and which things it's coming under it. So I'll tell you a little bit more deeper how you can use it, what are the tips and tricks later on that you can prepare, which I have also used and devised my own tips to prepare it. Okay. Based on the life cycle model of typical project, which stage is expected to experience the highest resource usage? Okay, so which stage? Initial phase, intermediate phase, closing phase, staffing phase. So you have to decide it. So these are the type of questions which you can expect in a CAPM, but these are pretty easy actually for preparing. The actual real CAPM exam is difficult. Okay, so since I told you I have prepared for PMP, so it was pretty easy for me to crack the CAPM, but maybe you will have a different understanding right now, because right now is the 7th edition, I have cracked the 5th edition, but most of the processes, most of the knowledge, most of the study material is almost same like 5th edition or the previous editions. Here you can even get the answer sheet, right? The answer is C, the first one, D, and so on. And where is the source? PMBOK, the page 8, page 27. If you have the PMBOK, you can go over there and refer it. There may be some theoretical questions, there may be some numerical questions as well related to that. Okay, so I have used this kind of learning to prepare for the CAPM exam. Another way is actually some cheat codes. So this is an Excel sheet over here. You can see different knowledge areas over here. Okay, like integration management, scope, time, cost management, and which phases it is coming in, what topics, what processes are coming in. Okay, there are total 47 processes in the 5th edition, but in the 7th edition there might be 50 or 60. I really don't know, but you can check it out later. Then you need to remember each and every processes and the ITTOs. What is this ITTOs? It's called input, tools, techniques, and outputs. And all these input, tools, techniques, and outputs have a different words which is written inside it. So what I have done is I had devised a method to memorize everything. So as I said, most of the things are from the book itself. So you need to have a method of your own which can help you solve it like a book. So what I did, as soon as the exam started, you have 15 minutes to prepare it. Okay, so during that 15 minutes, I write it down all my tips and tricks at the back of the exam sheet on a blank paper. They will give you a blank paper as well to solve the numerical or to solve any problems which you see in the exam. So I have write down the entire cheat code. So it's like a cheat code. Whenever I forgot or I'm not able to remember something, I just open the cheat code and solve it. So that's become pretty easy. So that was something which I have devised it by myself from my own learning, which was pretty easy for me to remember. Okay. So similarly like that you can also devise, and that way you can easily crack the CAPM, because it's like you, when you already have a book in front of you, maybe the book is 1000 pages long, but if you make only 2 pages which can help you understand the 1000 pages, so it's like a cheat code, right? So these type of things you need to do it for yourself if you want to improve your chances to crack this exam in the first attempt. Obviously now at least more than 1 or 2 lakh people are there who have already taken this exam. More and more professionals are taking up. They will make the difficulty level higher, but the way you can learn is what you have to decide from your self study. Okay, so this is one of my notes, which is like a handwritten notes, you can say. So this is on the laptop. I have typed it down, what things I have to prepare just before the exam: introduction, examination, role of a PMO, project life cycle, and I have also mentioned which slide it is. So this is like a, just before going to the exam you have to summarize everything what you have learned. Okay, so this is a sheet which helped me a lot to summarize everything which I have learned from more than 1000 pages long book. So that PMBOK is a very long book and it's not easy to understand each and every concept. So this this CAPM notes help me to understand it in a much better way. You can see over here requirement should be so and so, product analysis, and a lot of more things over here. As I scroll down, you will see that there are some words which I have made it in a very bold letter. These are very important. Some short form and the abbreviations, advantages, disadvantages. Right. So all these things you need to prepare. Like I'll show you here in this Excel sheet. Over here you can see all the IDTOs. You see input. These are all inputs, outputs, tools and techniques of each and every phases over here. Develop project charter, develop project management plan. So you need to remember these. So how you can remember? By the color codes. So you need to have your own way of memorizing things with respect to color. So like in order to memorize something you need to have your own strategy. So if you understand how you can create your own strategy which can help you, like colors, like short codes, or like some patterns, so these type of things are actually help you to memorize a 1000 page long book in maybe just 2 or 3 pages. Differentiation of each and every project management plan, knowledge areas, and so on so forth. Some of the equations which are there to calculate the project value, earned value. Okay, so there's a chapter which is called as cost management, project cost management. So in that you will learn earned value management, CPIs, CVs, and what are these things. There are so many beautiful concepts which you can practice. Now you might be asking, sir, okay, this is something related to project management, but how is it actually relating to the PIM? That's a pretty important question, right? So I'll tell you this with this image over here. Let's have a look. So in this image you can see that there is a model over here on the right side, which is a BIM model. On the left side you can see the number of days, the month, the cost, and also the activities. So the left side, whatever the data you see on the screen, how do you get this data without project management? You cannot, right? You cannot say on this date you will incur this much cost and you have to do so many activities, like 5-10 activities on this date. How you can come to this conclusion? Not possible with just directly putting the information here. You can only come to this conclusion if you are a project manager and who has created a project management plan and who has scheduled the project and is monitoring and controlling the project with respect to a particular software, right? So whether it's a Primavera or a Microsoft project, or maybe it's a Synchro, or maybe it's Navisworks, or maybe it's a normal Excel sheet, or maybe it's just pen and paper. You do it by your own self with manual inputs. That is also fine, but you need to have certain tools and tricks to manage it. So how do you make a project management plan without having a knowledge of project management? That is the question. No one can become a project management just having an experience of 5 years. Am I right? So even if you have an experience of 20 years, some of them say that they are a project manager. Yes, they are project manager, but what is a professional project manager? A person who have information, who have how to talk, who knows what is a project chart, right? Let's say some of you in the session today might be 15 years experience, 20 years experience, but you need to know what is a project charter, how do you prepare these project charter, right? If you cannot talk in that particular language, then you are not a professional. So that is where the CAPM and the PMP certification comes in. Now let me go you back to LinkedIn. Let's say this is the LinkedIn, CAPM jobs. I'll search over here. Okay, so if you type CAPM jobs, you can see over here how many jobs are available with respect to CAPM. In the United States, it's showing me around 800 results. So as I said, this is a globally recognized certificate. Most of the jobs you will find in the other countries like Singapore or US or UK. Like some people have taken the education, they have traveled there. Now when they went there, then they realize that they need this type of certifications as well, and then they prepare it. So why not, if you already have a knowledge about these kind of things in the first place, then you can prepare these certifications well in advance, right? You can take the proper guidance of how to prepare it, and there are so many courses out there online on Udemy or Coursera through which you can take and prepare it. It's pretty cheap right now. During that time in 2016-17, it was a very costly. I have spent in 2016 around 20,000 Indian rupees to prepare for my CAPM exam. So that's a big amount of money in 2016, and no teacher at that moment was teaching. Right now you can find this kind of learning on Udemy for 2,000, 4,000 as well, along with the certificate of 35 hours of training. To give this exam, you need to have a certificate, 35 hours of training certificate for the PMP exam, and 23 hours of certificate for the CAPM exam. So I have a 35 hours of training certificate for the PMP exam, because at that moment no institute in India were giving a 23 hours of CAPM exam preparation training. So 35 hours is also valid because you already have more than 23 hours, right? So that helps. You can see over here project manager, project controller, and if you scroll down you will see here that having a certification or a security plus certificate like these is evaluated, and you can expect at least 6% to 20% of your salary hike if you have the certification of CAPM or PMP. 6 to 20% salary hike is a lot, right, compared to your peers or the colleagues who is working at the same level, same profession, but your salary should be at least more than 6 to 20%, just because you have this certification. And this is where the certification helps. The right certification, if you choose, it will actually help you land a good job. You can search in more other countries. Let's say I'll try with India. Well, you won't find a lot. Yeah, around 129 results. General manager, digital PMO, project planner. Let's say WSP is one of a very good company, multinational company. What they mention, they mention you need to know Primavera or MS Project, the major duties. These are the things you need. If you have a CAPM, PMP or Prince2, as I mentioned, there are other certifications as well, but highly recognized as CAPM and PMP. Prince2 is also possible. You can give it and you can be a professional in Prince2. Prince2 is a bit cheaper and more easy than the CAPM and PMP as far as I remember. There are other ways, other exams also, like SAP. SAP professionals can also have the CAPM, PMP certifications. Project manager, digital, BTP consultant. Let's see, have a look. over here. CAPM, let's type BIM. For sure you will find some of the requirement which is exactly related to a project, related to BIM, and along with the BIM experience they would be expecting a CAPM. Ongoing construction, ability to use Solibri. See over here is a WSP, digital construction consultant. Here you need to have a BIM expertise or a digital construction expertise you mentioned over here, and they are also looking for a people who already have CAPM experience and share the CV with them. BIM manager, maybe somewhere over here they would say experience of certification of CAPM or PMP is a value addition. These type of roles. So I think that's it for today. We can move up for the Q&A session. Anyone have any questions related to today's session? You can ask freely. Muhammad Abbas, Vishakha, everyone.
Good morning, Adnan.
Good morning, Kajal.
Like how much time it will require to study all this? Like how much months or preparation required for this
Correct.
certification?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Kajal. Depending on which certification you choose, I will tell you both for CAPM and PMP. Let's say you choose CAPM certification. So for CAPM, the first thing you need to do is you need to have a 23 hours of training certificate before applying for the exam. Okay, so to get a 23 hours of training certificate, you maybe need to go to Udemy, Coursera, or any physical institute in India or anywhere, any part of the world, or even online is fine. There are so many ways you can get it. So complete this 23 hours of training certificate for CAPM. Even if you complete 35 hours of training certificate, both are fine. Okay, maybe just the costing would be a little bit different, cheaper and higher. So first complete this training certificate. After that you have to upload this training certificate on the PMI website. When you create an account on PMI, they will ask you if you want to enroll and be a member of it. You have to upload this training certificate over there. When you upload it, it might take you around 15-20 days for the entire process, and then you can schedule your exam. You can schedule your exam after 3 months also, after 4 months as well, mostly. Okay, so this is the process which I have told you. For the PMP is also the same thing. Now to prepare the exam, how much amount of time you have to dedicate? For CAPM, I would say a dedicated 3 hours, 3 months of training or 3 months of learning is enough to crack the exam. I have personally used only 3 months. Actually, I was started preparing from 1 year ahead, but to be honest, I was dedicated only for 3 months. After I finished my college and I graduated, I had 3 months of my time and I focused fully on this exam, and I was able to crack it pretty easy because I was preparing for PMP. Yeah, so 3 months is good time. You can prepare it. If you spend maybe 1 to 2 hours every day, or on your weekends you spend a little bit higher time, you can prepare in 3 months time. The most important is you have to practice lot of MCQs, lot of mock test, like wherever you enroll your 23 hours contact learning or 35 hours PDUs learning, they will give you a lot of mock test examples. So you need to be sure that if you are able to do the mock test and you are getting good score, then you can schedule your exam even after 1 month, no problem. If you can score good in the mock test, why not after 1.5 month, right? So this much time it will take, Kajal, 3 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? Sheikh, Asadullah, Anand, Sanket, Ashfan, Himanshu, Abdullah, Abbas. Any questions you have? You can raise your hand. Yes, Sanket.
So this course, is this course relevant to degree or?
No, it's not a degree actually. You know, this is like just a certificate exam. Let's say, uh, you know, there is Autodesk. Autodesk have Revit certificate exam, AutoCAD certificate exam. Similarly, like this. This is a certificate. It's not relevant to or relatable to your degree. It's not considered that. But this is the highest level of professional certificate in the entire world. So now you can understand if some certification is at the highest level, top level, you know. So CAPM is the number one certification in the entire world people are demanding. Right now, a little bit awareness is getting in the industry that people need to have this kind of certifications as well, because many people, you know what, they spend a lot of their hard earned money and they go overseas and take education in UK or US or Singapore or Canada somewhere, and then they realize that these are the certifications they also need to prepare. So why not prepare it earlier? When you reach there, you have more chances. Yes, Himanshu.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good
My name is
morning.
Architect Himanshu.
Yes,
So
Himanshu.
I have a 3 years of experience. Currently, I'm working in Mumbai. So
Okay.
currently, I'm using Revit modeling for making GFC drawings.
Huh.
Sir, I have questions. Sir, it's like I have gone through the entire webinar. It's quite efficient and useful. I'm little bit confused, sir. Why? Because it's like you told that PMP and this first certificate. This first one I
CAPM.
don't. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So which one should be proper for me? Why? Because being an architect. Why? Because as I'm talking as per the job market,
Right.
there is no proper job role in the design industry,
Mhm.
and there are a lot.
That's true.
It's like there is an issue with the pay scale also.
Yeah.
So once I do this certification course, so why? Because sir, I am also from. It's like consider all the family aspects and everything. So
True.
I'm thinking in that manner also.
Right, Himanshu.
So
Himanshu,
after the completion of
how much experience you have?
uh, 3 years, sir.
3 years, and you can document the 3 years experience in a certificate completely.
Three years, sir. There are my 3 years experience is not continuous. In middle there are gaps, sir. Why? Because there was switching, some health issues, and also so it's like I have completely 3 years of experience, but there is a middle gap, 1 month, 3 months in that manner, sir.
So if you have a gap, so what exactly the longest experience you have, which you can document on a certificate? Is it 2 years, one and a
Uh,
half year?
So I have a experience. It's like I was shifting my job role. It's like I have done the licensing work, designing work. I have worked in the green building industry also, where I've done IGBC certification work. So right now I'm working with PG Patki Architects in Mumbai as a design junior architect. So it's like I was working there, but which one will be as per your suggestion? How should I move? Why? Because being in the architecture design industry, it's like already there is a monopoly in the market as per my experience.
Yeah, Himanshu, I think
Yes.
you didn't get my question. My question is very simple.
Yes.
You are an architect
Yes,
and
sir.
you are a professional. I'm just asking that you have an experience. I'm just saying, can you document this experience on a piece of paper, on a certificate, that how many years of experience you have maximum? You said
3 years,
have
sir.
multiple
Three-
roles. You have 3 years, but can you document on a certificate that you have 3 years of experience working in one company?
No, sir. No, sir. That will
So,
be difficult. Why? Because
so
I have.
how many company, or just give me one answer, Himanshu. Just tell me which is the maximum duration of work you have completed in a one single company. Maybe it's 6 months or 3 months. Just give me
6 months, sir. Six
Okay,
months.
6 months.
6 months, sir.
So with this particular experience, you cannot give CAPM or PMP. You need to at least have 1.5 year of experience minimum that is required. And in 70% of the cases, even if you showcase your 1.5 year of experience, and like you want to apply for CAPM, you have a 1.5 year of experience certificate, but they can also reject
sir.
1.5 year of experience. They can reject it.
Okay.
So on a
Okay.
safer side, at least 2 to 2.5 year experience, complete experience in one single company, working on one project or two project, doesn't matter, but you need to document that you
Okay.
have worked on a project in a one particular company
Okay.
for more than two
Okay.
and a half years. Then you can apply for CAPM. Okay. So take your
Okay.
time, be a
Yes, sir.
professional in one good firm, which is a highly recognized, whether it's architecture firm or a real estate builder or anywhere, and then go for a CAPM certification if you want to go for it. Another way is you need to
Yes,
at
sir.
least have 4 to 5 years of experience if you want to apply for PMP certification. Okay,
Okay.
this is one. There is third another way through which you can take this certification is right now you are a professional. Let's say you enroll for a master's program or a postgraduate
Yes, sir.
program. Okay, then you can apply for CAPM certification because you are now a student in a university. That is what the
Yes, sir.
certification says. If you are a student in a university, then you can take this exam. But if you are not a student, and if you are switching roles for 6 months, 1 month, or 4 months like that, they will not let you take this exam. And even if you try applying,
Oh,
they will not even consider your application. You can become a member for
okay.
it, pay a $32, which is a membership fee, which is pretty easy, and everyone
Oh,
can do it. Become a member, no problem.
okay.
But you cannot
Okay.
apply for the exam. So that is my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, once we, I will thank you for a valuable suggestion, sir.
Sure.
So once we do the completion after the course, sir.
Yeah.
So after this, it's like what kind of job roles we will be getting in India and abroad.
First of all, in India, there are very few companies who actually recognize these certifications. Okay, even the top companies in
Okay.
India, I don't want to mention the names, but even the top companies and the MNCs in India, they don't recognize these certificates as valuable because like
Okay.
there's already a lot of people in the market who have 15, 20 years of experience, though they doesn't even care, to be very honest, whether you have certificate or not. But in a very
Okay.
good company, maybe in US, in the UK, in the Middle East, all these places, they are very much interested in hiring people who have these certifications. So even if you are sitting here and
Okay.
you can apply for a company in Singapore or in Canada or in
Okay.
US sitting in India right now, okay, that you can do. If
Okay.
you have this certification, they
Yes,
will
sir.
entertain you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Anand.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
And sir, one more last question, sir. Till I'm having my practical work experience, so side by side, can I prepare for the exam, sir?
You can prepare for the exam, no problem, as a good for learning, but I would suggest you first have a proper experience of 3 years at least. Then think
3 years
about this
continuous.
continuous 3 years experience, and then think about preparing it, because preparation, as I told you, it will take you 3 months around. Okay,
Okay, fine, sir.
so
Yes, sir.
preparation is
Thank you,
not a
sir,
big
for
deal,
this.
but if you are just curious to learn about these things, like I can share you some of the notes, you can learn it. It will be really good for you when you talk to your colleagues or talk to your seniors in your project. So that is fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time
sure.
and suggestion.
Thank you. Yes, Anand, you have any question? Can BIM modeler crack this exam? Yeah, Anand, even a BIM modeler, BIM engineer, Revit modeler, anyone can do this exam. It doesn't necessary that you need to be a site engineer. Even a site engineer can crack this exam. Okay. So anyone in the industry right now, whether it's a IT engineer, computer engineer, someone maybe from the BCA background, like bachelor's in computer application, or BCCA, even some people from BBA or MBA background, some people from SAP background, they can also crack this exam, right? Most of the people, I would tell you, like who are CAPM and PMP, uh, they are mostly from the engineering and architecture background. Mostly are from the engineering background who crack it. Yeah. Any other questions? Time and fee for CAPM. As I mentioned, there's around $300 of initial investment you have to do. It's not my course, it's a PMI course. You can directly go to their website and enroll over there. And as I said, around 3 months of learning will be required. And you can even find the entire process on their website. Yeah. Any other question? Ashfan, thank you. Irfan, Vishakha, Asadullah, Aben. Okay, I think it's a great session today. I hope all of you had got something uh, very different from what exactly we do in BIM. But these things are also important, I feel, and I felt that many people are really confused about taking decisions about certifications, which certificate they should get. So why not focus on the number one certification, right? So all the best to all of you. Thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Adnan, for the wonderful session.
Thank you, Ashfan.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You can message me on WhatsApp, and you can find out on LinkedIn as well. You can connect online for any questions you have. If you need the notes related to CAPM PMP, you can message me. I can share you the notes as well. Yeah. Abdullah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Just type Adnan Ghori or iWorkstation and message me over there. I'll share you more details. Okay. Thank you.